Hello and welcome back to the Armbar arcade. I'm Nay, and today I'm going to be playing Bishi Bashi Special for the PlayStation 1 by Konami. This is a minigame collection released in the year 2000, just before the original WarioWare Inc. It's got very Japanese humour, and there have been other Bishi Bashi games released in Japan, but this is the only one that got a release over in the EU. So we're going to start off with Super Bishi Bashi and move on to Hyper Bishi Bashi a little bit later. We're going to be doing the Endurance Bishi Bashi Marathon Challenge and getting as far as I can. Attention. So the mini-games are a little bit longer than your standard WarioWare game. I mean, technically those are micro games, so you'd expect that. You get a little instruction video before the games. I've played most of these, so I should be alright. I might skip a few later on, just to save the video getting super long. But here we go. So here I've got to enter some numbers. There's a target in each minigame for Super Bishi Bashi. Players have to beat in order not to lose any lives. So if I don't reach the target on any of these minigames, I will lose a life. And you've only got 2 lives, so I might have to use some continues just to get a little bit of the way through this game. This one's not too hard. The only problem is that the wheel doesn't rotate past 0 either way, so you have to keep going. If you're on 1, you have to take 8 presses to go to 9 instead of 2 going all the way around, as we find here. Time's going to run out there, but we got the 3 that we needed, so there we go. Qualify 3, and I got 3, so we get a nice little check mark and move on to the next game, which is Facial Slot Machine. I'm not sure if I've seen this one actually before. Ah yes, it's this one. Here we go. So it's like just matching up the faces really on a slot machine. It's timing really, but there's no rhythm or reason to this. We've just missed out there. Yeah, this one's quite hard actually. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it. Oh, there we go. Just in the nick of time there, we've got our faces all matched up and moving on to the next round. You get a little score there in the corner, which is based on how quickly you can complete each game. So Monster Catastrophe. This is stage 3. The stages are randomised, so it won't be this stage every single time you play, which is good. I think there's about 80 mini-games in this game as a whole, so that's quite a lot really for a minigame collection. This one's to do with matching the button colours of the PlayStation controller, so blue is the X, red is the circle, and green is the triangle. We're not doing too badly here, just as I said that. Mess up a little bit, but we should have cleared the target there. Yep, we have. Very nice. And also sometimes with the controls they have a left, right and middle controlled games where you have to use either the square or the circle for left and right, and the X. Here's one. This is a good example. This one is also quite difficult. You have to jump left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right. Yeah, it's a tongue twister. But yeah, I'm doing it as fast as I can, but some of the button presses don't really seem to register here, so I think we're going to have our first experience of falling short of the target. Yes, 63 they wanted there, which is quite a lot really. We could have done better there. So we've got 1 life remaining. I'm going to use a couple of continues I think, because we want to get a little bit into Super Bishi Bashi. The Not Too Great Escape. This one is a bit of a stealth game, bit of a Metal Gear Solid feel to it, so the guard will turn around and you just have to be still when the count reaches 10. I think we need 3 guys through, so we're going to try and get at least 3. We should make it here. We've got a good amount of time left. Oh, can we be cheeky and get 1 more? Yes, we can! Yes, we can. Very nice. Yeah, we only needed 3, but we went for the 4 just to get those points, which are ultimately meaningless. Stage 6, Roach Spray. So this one's got a bit of a difficult control style actually. It's sort of like tank controls. I don't know how to describe it, but left will rotate you all the way around and right will rotate you all the way around, and I think I need some practice at this one. I think the goal is also pretty high. I think they want you to kill about 30 roaches or something, so we might struggle at this. Especially as there are no roaches about. Ah, that's better. That's better. But 16, I don't think we'll cut it here. No, 23 we needed. So that's our first game over, but we can just put another credit in and continue. So a lot of these games have got very sort of typical Japanese humour, sort of a little random vibe to them. Same with WarioWare, I guess. But it's good that this game came over to Europe from Japan, because, you know, there's really nothing like this from European developers, especially for the time. I mean, the year 2000, I guess aesthetically it kind of fits in. It's got a nice cartoon style. But it's really enjoyable to play as a multiplayer game as well. If you want to play it as a party game, you can get your friends and try and beat these targets with them. It's also an arcade machine. The Bishi Bashi is the name of the arcade machine. There's one in London, actually, in Soho, which I had beaten with a few credits. And that is definitely well worth a go. We just cleared that rhythm game there while I was talking. By quite a good margin on what we needed. Here's another choice game. So we got to spot the UFO between the buildings and choose from these three, which also randomise at the bottom to make it more difficult, so they don't stick around in the same place. So you've got to look at what's coming between the buildings and have a little glance down to see which one you're supposed to be pressing. So I think we've done enough here. It's a really good arcade sort of title. I mean, you've got your credits, you can progress, and it's just good to run through and practice that. You know, if you're going to play it as a party game, you want to beat your friends. So here's a button mashing game. Left and right, left, right, left, right, left, right. This one's quite tough actually, because getting it to register the left and right when pressing them very fast, yeah, I don't think we've done very well here. Yeah, there's a couple of games that are left, right, alternating, and then there's a couple that are just straight out button mashers. This was the former, and we didn't do very well, so unfortunately we scored 0 for that round. It doesn't really matter because we have infinite credits, because we bought the PS1 game instead of playing in an arcade. Oh, this is my least favourite game on the entire Super Bishi Bashi collection. Yeah, this isn't going to go well. You've got to hit the ball in the middle. I'm sure it's just timing, but I don't know what I'm doing now. It's nowhere near. I think it's just one of those games you really have to focus on, and I just can't at the moment, so that's our second game over. We'll put another credit in. I don't think we've seen quite enough of the Bishi Bashi experience to justify giving up just yet. Here's Burger Girl, which is another left-right sort of game. This one is moving left and right to catch the burger as it falls. It starts off pretty slow actually. I think you only need 2 to progress, but we're going to go for more than 2. Yeah, the burgers start falling at a rapid pace. I think it might speed up the service in fast food restaurants to have it done like this actually, just falling from above. The chefs are on the floor above and the servers just catch it for you. Revolutionising McDonald's. Might be slightly difficult and result in a lot of wastage, but it's worth a try, isn't it? There we go, 5 burgers. Very nice. They're going to give us 10 points for that one. Stage 12. The caveman mistake game. I find these quite difficult actually to focus on because they all look fairly similar, the cavemen. And it's only when you sort of zone out a little bit you can differentiate between them. How are we doing? Okay? Yeah, we should have cleared that game, hopefully. Yes, 13. So the targets aren't particularly harsh. I think it just depends on the difficulty of the game, really. If you find it easy, you're definitely going to clear the game. If you find it hard, probably not. This one again is just like tank controls. Oh, we're not doing very well at all here. We're the red elephant, in case you can't tell. And we've basically lost straight away. Our opponent needs 5, the computer needs 5, so just one more for him will take the game. He's going to get to 8 before us, isn't he? Yes, he is. 9 for the consolation prize, but I'm pretty sure you need 5 on this one to win, so yeah. That's a shame. I think the sheer variety of games in the collection as a whole is great. You know, there's a lot of different things to do, and even the ones that have the same basic concept, like button mashing or using the colours of each button. Like this one's a colour button matching, but they've all got, you know, different art and that off-the-wall style of sort of Takeshi's Castle vibes. I know that's probably a little bit of a generalization to go with Japan and Takeshi's Castle, but it's the same sort of off-the-wall humour. See, this one reminds me of arcade games where you have to type in your name, like Outrun, when you get a high score or something. And I always used to type it slightly wrong. I'd try and put in Nay and end up putting Nax or Naz and running out of time to edit it. So I've got quite a lot of practice actually at putting my name into arcade machines. Hopefully it'll pay off. SOS. Save our souls. Nice. Pawn, nice and close. Pin. Yeah, it's pretty close to each other. One more. Zoo. Yeah. Z. Oh. So close. That's a shame, but we only needed 4, so we'll take that. Yeah, I think rushing in some of these games is worse than taking your time and doing them slowly, especially the colour matching ones. This is just a pure button masher, so I'm going to try and mash as many pencil leads as I can. Who didn't do this with mechanical pencils in their youth? There we go, we've done quite well there. This is another one where you have to see what's hiding behind something. Well, that's a lot harder actually than the alien one. You have to match the words. I can't read any of these. That's tough. And we're running out of time. I don't know quite what the target is, so let's go for it. No, it wasn't marzipan. I think it was cardigan. If it wasn't marzipan, it was definitely cardigan. And we failed that one, so we're going to leave it there for Super Bishi Bashi. That was a good variety of games just to show you what's on the actual collection itself. It's a lot of fun, you know, even on your own, against here a qualification limit of score, or against the computer as we're about to see with Hyper Bishi Bashi. It's a fun game. I've always liked minigame games, you know, minigame collections for all platforms. But this is one I found out about quite late, actually. I didn't know it existed until a couple of years ago. Bishi Bashi Alone in hyper mode. Now this one is against an AI opponent, so you have to beat their score rather than beating a predetermined score. It makes it slightly easier, in fact, because the computer is incompetent and I'm not. So this is just another directional game. You can see the directions they're coming from, and you've got the 3 buttons at the bottom of the controller. We're doing well here. There should be 3 in a moment that come. I'm not quite ready for them, I don't think. No, I wasn't ready. Had to move my hand a little bit for those. And again. There we go, 50. So if someone wins the game outright, then the game will just stop. Otherwise it's whoever's got the best score. I think you can both lose though if you do incredibly badly, so we'll try to avoid that. More burgers, but a slightly different variation of the burger game. Here it's the left, middle and right buttons to drop the orders down. Yeah, the computer is absolutely useless at this one, so we should just fly through. It's slow and it just doesn't seem to get them right at all, I don't know why. On the other hand, we are pretty good at this one. There are some games, I think there's a rhythm game on this one that I'm not especially good at, but I've had a little bit of practice, so... Yeah, we won there. I think there's about 20 games in total in this this mode to beat, and then you've beaten the computer at hyper mode. This is sort of how all javelin games were executed in sort of sports games like track and field by Konami. So we got to get our speed up with the bride, and then set the angle of the... Oh, we've just gone a bit too far there, so it'll give us another turn. Here we go, so we're going to get more speed up, and 45 would have been perfect, but I think row 27 is by far enough, and the crowd goes wild. And now the computer's turn. Nowhere near as much speed. And a ridiculous angle. That's not gone very far at all. And the crowd still goes wild. Yeah, we've won that one by a mile. Well, 12 meters, but same thing really. So we've got a bit of a win streak going here as we get into robo docking, which sounds much different than it actually is. This is just another colour match game, so it goes from the top. I've got to press the corresponding buttons from the top. The computer's once again pretty useless at this one, but it does take a little bit of looking at, so it's catching up actually. But we only need one more. There we go. I think the computer gets better and better as the minigames go on as well, so we'll have to watch out for that. Especially with games that I'm not very good at, which hopefully there are only a few of. Talking of games I'm not very good at, Clock Stopper is one of these. It's alright at the start, but when it starts to get faster... Okay, we're doing well. Oh, it's a tie there. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my way here. Nice. No, come on. One more. Yeah. I thought I was going to lose that one actually, because usually I sort of lose my focus and just end up clicking at random times. But we're on a 5-game win streak here, so let's see how long we can continue this. Restaurant Fever. Oh, this is one of my better games, so we should definitely win this one. This is purely a left, right, centre game, so it's just based on the positions of the desserts. There we go. Well, I say desserts, there's a fish there, so the food. Yeah, clear win there for me. I think this mode is going a little bit better than Super Bishi Bashi mode. The games are a little bit easier, perhaps. This one can be a little bit difficult with the controls, just getting the character to move left and right. He's going, but the computer is a little bit ahead of us at the moment. We're going to have to hurry this up. We're going to have to... Oh, it's tight. Ah, very nice. That was a marginal victory there for me. Oh, I'm not good at this one at all. This is horse speeder. Turbo powered horses. Oh, we're doing okay. And we're not. Yeah, the computer seems to be pretty good at this one, so I don't think we're going to make it. No, not quite. It was closer than I thought, actually, but the computer just beat us to it, so our 7-game win streak has been broken. I think we're just going to play this one until we run out of credits, so it depends on how well I do. Here's another button masher. Just bash the buttons. I shall. Nice. That was a poor effort from the computer there. Uncle Bean. It's got the colours of the buttons. And they just come in order. You have to press them in order as they appear. Which is okay until they start firing them at you at a high speed. But the computer's pretty useless at this too, so we should have a good chance of winning here. Yeah, we're definitely quite a long way ahead. Ah, just messed up the last part there. Yeah, that'll be enough to take us through to another round. It's a good thing I'm not doing particularly badly at this. I thought I might end up losing quite a lot. You know, when you're trying to record a game and look good at it, the last thing you're going to be able to do is look good at the game. Ah, yeah, there's no up and down, and I forgot there's no up and down in this. It's just left and right, so pressing right on 3 will go to 4, which is quite disorientating. But there we go, we get the girl, and he ends up bringing an angry man. So we're the winners there. Another colour matcher. I think it's possible to get bored of the variety of games in this, just, you know, due to the similar types that appear. There's colour matches, there's position matches, there's sort of odd one out games, and there's some timing ones, but I think they are varied enough to keep the fun interesting and, you know, keep players engaged. They're as varied as WarioWare, I would say. But obviously they've got all of their characters, and it's played in a different way, obviously. Which I think is probably better for a party game, you know, if you're competing at the same time rather than passing the controller, or... There's not a lot of WarioWare games where you play them at the same time as each other. I don't think, anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one's quite easy. It's like those little tilt puzzles you used to get in Crackers or from Poundland, perhaps. Yeah, the computer's not amazing at this one. It's quite easy just to collect a few stars and beat them. Should be able to get to the bottom where there is a big star waiting for us. Yes, there we go. Nice. We're further than I thought I would be able to get on just 2 lives. 13 victories isn't bad. This is the rhythm dancing game. Yeah, it's a little bit tough because there's a slight bit of lag on the controller. Kind of like Parappa the Rapper, where you have to just get used to the rhythm. And if you notice, our afro grows every time we win a round. Nice. It can end up blocking out the screen at the top, which is quite funny. Oh, that's a fast one. Ah, the computer's catching up. Nice. Yes, there we go. Excellent. That was a good effort. Some of the rhythm games can be a little bit hard because there's a tiny bit of lag and just the rhythms are pretty specific in what they want you to do. Attention. The football game's good. Sort of like how hurdles used to work in track and field, which was another Konami game, so I'm not surprised that they've sort of reused control concepts. But we've just got to jump over all these defenders. Yes, and come up on the goalkeeper and score. And the computer wasn't far behind there actually, he's just launched his shot. I think this is where we're going to go out though, because this is not my game at all. I'm very poor at pinball games, as I've just demonstrated. The computer seems to be very good at this one as well actually. I've never seen it get sort of less than 40-50 points I think. Yeah, I don't really know what the secret to this game is. I'm flipping the flippers, but somehow I'm still behind. And that's going to be it. So that was Hyper Bishi Bashi, and before that Super Bishi Bashi, both on Bishi Bashi Special for the PlayStation 1. We're not going to continue here, but if you enjoyed this, definitely check the game out, try and emulate it or import it or something at least. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for your play.